Oh, the episode's title does concern me a lot. It's a recurring theme in this show. Supplies. Neither of you will be known to history. Is it in an endearing manner, like a noble sacrifice, or is it, someone like Novak saying that? Because everyone's putting themselves on the line. As a group, they're able to take this step, right? Not individually. Also doing it for a cause, a person. At the beginning. No, it did. It did. Yeah. You better. We're sacrificing our lives here. Why are they trembling? It's reasonable. Your resolve is getting tested here. Oh. Will he get to see the sunrise? Is there enough time? Maybe she'll learn to appreciate it and, like it for his memory. Because he won't be alive anymore, right? So, someone to carry his... Just like Yolenta. Just like Yolenta asked her to remember the contents of the book and appreciate it. Similar thing here. Yeah. Look at this. Someone who, knows the importance of it because you have come to know about it. Yolanta carrying so many dreams on her shoulders. Generation by generation. Since the first episode. Now let's look at this last stand. Oh shit. Full garrison. Oh my god, look at those shields. Yeah. Testudo. Assassins. They haven't crossed paths yet, right? One big explosion. Where will you take this, Novak? To what end? I mean, the series is drawing to a close, right? Season 1. I don't see Novak living through this. Huh. Oh god. God damn Schmidt. This is his last stand. There's no way Schmidt. Yeah, he's a skilled swordsman. Was past tense. Why is this? Because things did not go the way he thought it would. Like fate, destiny. And now he has to entrust Draka. That's why his faith is wavering. Fuck. I did not see that coming. God, Novak. Not like this, man. Not like this. Fucking hell, man. Ah, man. I don't like the way he went out right now. Okay. R.I.P. She went to what's his name? Damien, right? Damien. No. Anthony. Not Damien. Anthony. Yeah. This is the deciding moment. I'm surprised it was this easy to get an audience with him. How? What's the argument? How is she gonna frame this? Yes, this is only for heretic ears. Okay. God, what Novak has become these last few episodes, I despise him as much as I pity him. I feel like he's lived the worst life out of all the main characters, ironically.
本です。私はこの先、物の個人所有が進んで、本が売れる時代が来ると思う。
Okay.
貪るように群がる彼らの熱気を知ってるでしょ。
True.
時間も場所も選ばないから便利だし。
Is this really how it happened?
本の複製は安価で、あなたにぜひ協力してほしい。
Started with the church.
印刷機の使用と本の発行許可をもらいたいんです。必ずや損
It's not a very convincing argument. Now.
の思案というか、自然に対するある仮説で、地球の運動についてです。貴様、何を言って。異端思想ですか。しかしです。お話ししたいのはここ。
If you were the one to
考えてみてください。
pioneer this, it won't be seen as blasphemy. But who gets to decide it? You are in that position. You are not your father. You are an ambitious person. We did talk about this. Like many episodes ago, right? This is how you rope him in. In other places it's thriving. That's what Badeni had to say. Still.
要するに君の考えでは、地動説が異端かどうかは時の権力者の裁量によっていくらも変わるというわけか。
Yes. Fortunately or unfortunately, that is the case. That's how the world works, even to this day.
ただ一つ理解しておけ。
This is so interesting.
私は風向き次第ではいくらでも君を切る。
Yeah, that's to be expected.
ということは。
Look at this fucking shrewd businessman. 10%. I mean, the profits don't really concern Draka right now. Okay. Now this should be interesting. Him confronting Anthony. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. They haven't met since then. Oh, God. Oh, God. He's holding a torch. Man, this is so sad to watch. His entire life's purpose is going to crumble now. Fuck, man. Feel so bad for Novak as much as I hate him. The power he serves and the power he seeks to destroy, both cooperating. Straight to the point. He's testing his audience, right? If this guy can be convinced. You don't have a reason. He has been told by the church since ever. There is no reason. Oh god, I hate Anthony because he's such a double-faced, hypocritical bastard, but right now we need him. I mean, Anthony knows it's all BS. It's just about how you interpret it. God, fact that all this time the church's main power just so easily turned heel. It all falls into place. Just shape the truth however you want. He's not gonna. Because his daughter died for this, you know. His entire life, everything that is sacrificed for. But he's not gonna take this well. Money is the true religion. Yeah. And so did Anthony. This is how you're writing history. Oh my god. Scapegoat. Scapegoat. The church is still divine. Oh, this is so infuriating. But this is how history. Wow. He remembers those names. I'm so conflicted on. It's like I want Anthony to win this argument, but at the same time, I feel like I'm on Novak's side here. Emotionally. Because Anthony is still the worst person, the worst person here. You will not be remembered in history other than what I write you as. This is how history was written. This is the truth of the world. Who was this hell bent on this? Because in other parts of the region, it wasn't the case. I love this show. I love this show. Wow. A product of your time. A victim of your time. Everyone. There is no great purpose to your life. God, I hate Anthony so much. As much as I'm so conflicted emotionally. So I'll just briefly touch on this episode. Yeah, let's talk about Schmidt, and then we'll jump to that big topic here with Anthony and Draka, and then finally the confrontation with all three, where the whole show gets scrutinized and what it was all about. This might be one of my favorite episodes. Just because that last confrontation with Novak and his entire worldview, his entire existence, the amount of emotions he went through, oh my god, I could not help but pity him, despite how much I hate him. I love the show, man. I really love the show. Alright, let's talk about Schmidt and his last moments and his wavering faith that destiny did not choose to include him, that God did not choose to include him. He would not be the one who would shepherd in the new change, right? It fell upon Draka. That's what he realized in the past episode. That's why he flipped the coin. And now he wants Draka to remember him. Remember all of them. Remember a memory that what the son means to him, carry on his legacy in her mind, right? Just like Yolenta asked her that because of paths crossed, because you came to know what is important to me, please remember that. Otherwise, what was my life for, right? It's really heartwarming to see. It is tragic to see this. He's coming to terms with it. His boisterous nature, this charisma, the confidence, right, that he used to carry himself around. He's struggling to face his own, insignificant existence, right, in the annals of history. Just like many people before him that we have seen, like how Badeni came to it a lot earlier before his death. He had a lot more time to process it, unlike Schmidt. And that's the thing, right? Like you cross paths with the person who's going to carry your stories. They become important to you. That's why you want them to live. That's why you band together with them. First it was Yolenta, now it's Draka. Sometimes it's a higher purpose, sometimes it's like everyone's in this together, sometimes it's for the person who is going to carry your will. Yeah. This apparently is a tortoise formation that he said Tetsudo, which was used by the Roman legions. I searched it up. Interesting. He is well read, Novak. And as he chases Draka and Schmidt, confides in Draka that he is fearful right now because it feels that destiny has not chosen him for this part of history. He doesn't know. Because his confidence came from whatever is happening. We saw this time and again, right? Whatever's happening, God is choosing it for him, and he's still going to be the one who has to lead the people he is meeting. But now he is no longer the one who's leading them. So his faith is wavering here. That's why he's afraid. Man, his last moments, kind of an ugly death, being stabbed from behind, especially by Novak. I really hated Novak in this moment. But you know what really made me feel Novak had the saddest existence in this show is because of this line that Schmidt says, that at least I chose, what was it? It's the fate I chose. And that is true for everyone that Novak has directly or indirectly killed. They chose their paths, right? At the end, they were content with it. Unlike Novak, whose entire belief, purpose, decision, choices that he made was all for the sake of church. He was basically their hound with a tight leash, right? And that's what happened at the end. That's what he's realizing at the end of this episode. So yeah, Novak has the worst existence in this story, even though he's the one who is quote unquote the antagonist of the show, if you can call him an antagonist, rather than a sad byproduct of the times. And then this conversation with Draka and Anthony. It's so, God, religion. It's just business at the end of the day, right? Whatever brings you money and power, influence. That's how you'll steer the ship, right? And carry everyone aboard you, aboard your ship. Books as the next business. Since the times are changing, there's more ownership, individualism amongst people, right? They want something to stimulate their minds. They're no longer just going to be mindless sheep, right? The quality of life is improving. People are getting more educated. So this is where we rein them in. Like we should be carrying forward that change rather than be at the other end of it, you know. And he understands that he is a businessman at the end of the day. He knows, and this has been planted like many episodes ago, ever since the time skip happened, right? That things, the waves, the tides are shifting. So it's not an ass pull out of nowhere that somehow he just got on boarded with Draka's idea. There have been enough things being foreshadowed both for his character and both for the story at this point, that this was the natural conclusion when Draka would present this argument to him. The funny thing is that this is just one of many examples as to how history was shaped, right? for the wrong reasons, for profit, basically, for influence, for power, rather than for some higher purpose or divine intervention, like how people are led to believe. And it speaks so much about how many of these important decisions were made in history that people just eat it up, right? The masses just eat it up. Yeah, this is how it was. If the church says it, it must be true. And then, all the justification that happens, people will fill in the gaps for you because they need a clear narrative to guide them at all times. So yeah, Draka wins here. And he poses this interesting question: why is heliocentrism such a blasphemy? Like, get to the root of the matter. Like, it's not the same thing with other regions, countries, other religions, right? Why are we suppressing it so much? Like, if you really think about it. And this is what he asks Novak in turn, right? Oh God, I hate Anthony so much, but we need him on our side for this. So fucking interesting. Like, all of those guys got killed, and at the same time she's striking a deal with the person who gave them the orders. It's so fucking tragically funny, And Raka is the perfect candidate for this because she was recently a recent believer, and she is the most skeptical person out of all, as well as a very pragmatic person. So if anyone was going to appeal to Anthony's hubris, it would be her, to his sense of rationale and logic. And then we come to this final confrontation with Novak. And he goes to a bar to get a bottle of alcohol. I mean, he's carrying a torch here. The whole church is wooden, is made of wood. He definitely has a bottle in his... I think he's going to burn this whole place down. But yeah, look at this, man. Look at this scene. The head of your religion, at least in this region, right? The bishop making a deal with the ringleader, the current ringleader of the heretics. Is there a more conflicting view that could ever be presented in the show as what Novak is seeing in front of him? He's not able to comprehend this on so many levels, so many emotions intertwining. He's struggling, right? He's struggling to make sense of it. It's insane, man. This scene is insane. This is another culmination of the entire show, right from Raphael's days, and he remembers all these names, right? He said Hubert, Raphael, Okuji, Badeni. What did those guys die for? I killed them. Like, there has to be some meaning to it. You guys gave me my purpose and everything, and now you're just casting me aside, cutting my leash. What can I say about this scene? This might be one of my favorite confrontations in this show. It's so good. The show is so good, so well written, so poetic, so tragically poetic. How Anthony, just barrages him with these questions. The fucking oh man, what do you say? The fucking audacity that Anthony questions him like this, knowing full well what he's doing right now. He's casting doubt on his faith, all that he's believed to at this point, and Novak is basically witnessing how the church works, right? How the church shifts from as the times change, and how flexible that is. How flexible it is to easily interpret it in one way or the other, and whoever is in the position of power gets to dictate it. And he even dictates it, how it will naturally be written in history. I imagine the story goes something like this, some priest who had a very strict view of heliocentrism, and the heretics were persecuted, but the persecution was carried out by contractors, and this was a misunderstanding, and the church is still divine and holy, and you are the scapegoat, you are the only one who was doing it, which is not true. We see this, personally, he might be the one chasing down the heretics who were involved with heliocentrism. That much, at least as far as the show has provided me, it is true. He was the only one hell-bent on it. But in a broader sense, the idea of rebellion and revolting against the church is become a widespread movement. But right now, what Anthony's doing is basically singling him out. It's so. What can I say, man? It's just fucking pathetic to see him and Novak. You are the only one. It was all you. I'm rewriting your entire existence. Neither of you will be known to history. You're victims, and neither you. Shit. This is worse than that one scholar, right, who devoted his entire life to the wrong interpretation of heliocentrism, the geocentrism, right? I forget his name. Episode 7 or 8, I believe. Novak truly has the saddest life. And the way he says it, the product of your times, like, because you were born in this time, in this region, in this role, that's why. Like, history is all kinds of flexible. Not history, like, yeah, history and also the world around you, right? It all depends on the interpretation of the people in power, how they want to write it. There is no truth. Yeah, amazing. Let's see the next episode and how Novak takes all this. I think he's gonna burn everything down. That's where the scene from the opening comes. And he's gonna see a vision of Raphael, most likely.
気の毒だが受け入れるしかないだろう。君が担当した異端者たち。君らは歴史の登場人物じゃない。これは私でもすぐにわかりますよ。信仰だとか言っても衆とは世も末だ。一体いくら使った？
さあね。ただ一足先に入ろう。
Capitalism, baby.
神を捨て金か。薬を使って自爆するところを見た。あの光景を見て悲劇的だと思わない者がいるか。
Would he come to know who that was?
血は耐えられなくなった人間の末路が迷い続ける。
Look at him preach them.
でもきっと迷いの中に意味がある。
Now I understand the
その
meaning.
組織長の言葉だ。あなたの言う通り、次に来るのは大量死の時代かもしれない。でもその死の責任は神じゃなくて、人が引き受ける。地味を味わった知性は
Philosophical
い
debate.
ずれ十分迷うことのできる知性になる。暴走した文明に歯止めをかけて、異常な技術も乗りこなせる知性になる。
The old guard and the new.
きっと社会から神が消えても人の魂から神は消せない。
話は終わりだ。君は君の仕事をした。しかしそれは今に合わん。
How to step?
もう風向きは変わった。
Too late. Too late.
お勤めご苦労。
Careful now.
最後になるだろう。
Novak has nothing to lose right now. He is very dangerous right now.
こんなことを信じたくない。
Yeah, he carried the bottle premeditated. Did he soak himself? Oh, shh. Which direction will the winds take? Oh my god. He's taken on the responsibility himself. Reversed the entire thing. Checkmate. Enough damage has been done. Just like how Anthony was going to masquerade him as the scapegoat, he's done the same to Anthony. Whoa. Shit. What the fuck? Okay. Oh god. Oh, I was so scared that, like, no, man. Is Rafael there? Yeah. Oh man, I got chills. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Comrades. We meet again. God, he looks so scary. Oh, Rafael. He would be an adult now. 35, 40 years. I'm feeling so emotional right now. It's like friends meeting again, even though they were enemies. Wow. You were not just fighting against me. That's what it said, right? Back then. So cheerful as always. His memory is so fresh in his mind even after these years. That's how he remembers Rafael. This is interesting. I was on the wrong side. This is like the author speaking right now. Very well said. Very, very well said. Within each person. This show, man. I have this might be my favorite moment in the entire show right now. That is such an interesting way to wow. Projecting his daughter. That I'm the villain. Even though he's an illusion, he steps back. Don't have much time. Oh, dude. What an amazing show. You know things. Oh man. How is he supposed to answer that? No, he did not. He knew it.
そのために地獄に落ちたっていいと思えるもの。神様、神様、娘の過ちはすべて私の勘違いが原因なのです。すべて私の過ちなのです。どうか娘は天国へ。天国。
I don't deserve to watch this show, you know what I mean? It's like I'm incapable of appreciating it. How well this is written, how fucking hell, man. Oh my god. Oh. Is she going to pass the message on to someone else now? Is this her time? That's what Yolanda gave her. Who would she send it to? Fucking hell, man. I really didn't, but that's to be expected from the show. She's gonna see the sunrise. What Schmidt asked her. He couldn't see it. How is this show so good? I think this might be $1468. How many years?
注文どうします？
あら、あなた息子さん？
いや、ここでちょっとお世話になってて。
さあ、買った買った。いやー、今日もご苦労。
親方もお疲れ様です。
I can't pin him.
大学へ行けるぞ。
Why does this feel like Rafael and Potocki again?
この数値で俺は完璧な調合、分量のパンが作れる。おかげで店は安泰。お前はこの店の功労者だ。
ありがとうございます。お断りさせていただきます。
I'm still shook from
僕、大学行き
previous events.
言いました。
いや、お前は賢いし、昔は学ぶのが好きだと。
I'm not ready to move on just yet.
そうする。
Where is this coming from?
関わらない方がいい。
まあ確かにお前の昔の辛さは俺にはわからねえ。
What you went through?
他に何も望みません。
Wait, who is that?
じゃあなんでアストロラーベを捨てねえんだ。
It's one of those episodes again, I think, just like episode 7, 8, episode 15, and now this episode. I just feel like I feel unworthy of sitting here and assuming that I have the intellect, the vocabulary, the knowledge to sit here and critique this show, to judge this show, this episode. Like the level of writing and the emotions and the scenes, the characters, it just feels like I'm being schooled right now as to how you write a powerful story. I don't feel like I have the ability to judge this show, like this episode, and try to provide my value interpretation on it. I don't know. I might be in the midst of intense emotions, like riding the high or the low of this episode, but I really feel like this. I haven't, like, I've seen Freerin recently. That felt to me like one of those rare shows, like top 5, top 10 shows that I've seen. Like the potential, right? The potential of it. This really qualifies for that. Very, very few shows have hit me this hard, and it's been many, many years since I've had this. Like I said, Vinland Saga, Freerin, and now this show. In the past 5 years, 6 years, it's not often. I really feel blessed, like fortunate, that I'm living in this time and age that I can see shows of this caliber so easily. I just have a subscription. I sit here and I watch this amazing masterpiece. So many people have been involved in making this, like the author for the story and the manga, and the production team behind this, to bring this to life in such a powerful manner. Novak's final moments, his conversation with Raphael, oh my god, that tore me apart. And then Draka embracing the sun. And really, the animation and the direction of the episode is what really elevates it to that 11 out of 10 moment. Like the writing and everything definitely is 10 out of 10, but I really feel that the production team behind, I think this is Mappa, right? I should not Mappa, sorry. This is Madhouse. Wait, I should know this. 1 second. Yeah, Studio Madhouse, the OGs. Knocked it out of the park, honestly. Holy shit. And I think they were behind Freerin also, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Freerin. So yeah, it looks like a big comeback with Freerin and now this show. I really don't know what to say. I feel like whatever I'm going to say is going to be lacking, because the show presented it in such a perfect manner that there's nothing more for me to add. It's clear as day what all happened. I'll still try to give my opinion. I think the reaction portion of it really said more than I can say now. Novak, he took whatever Anthony said and said, fuck you. You are no longer qualified to be the leader of the church. You have fallen. You have tossed away God for money, for a few pennies, change. And he killed him. Just like that. Changed the winds of fate. Took fate in his own hands. Very dangerous man till the end. But I think something hit him. Something that Anthony said did hit him when he finally talked to Raphael and realized that he was the villain of that story the entire time. Something that we as the audience been seeing it. And it's funny that how at the end of his life he realized that. It's slightly of a meta commentary, right? I was so scared that Draka was gonna die, but she did. She did unfortunately die too soon. But that's just the show at this point. I still did not think she would die. Like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, 3 times, 4 times. Oh my god. Why do I keep falling for this? This show is like the Game of Thrones of anime. But this moment, look at that imagery. That smile, that knowing smile, those haunting eyes. All your efforts, and where did it lead you? Right back to me. Right back at the beginning. Everything that Raphael told him, "You're fighting something greater than me." His cheerful, chirpy attitude, man. Holy shit. I did not realize how much I would miss Raphael until he appeared again. I'm so happy. I'm really happy for Novak. Look, the thing is that as much as I hate Novak, it's natural, right? He was the villain of the story, as he commented. But at the same time, I felt so sorry for him because, like how Anthony said and how Raphael also kind of comforted him, that it's a product of your times. You are a product of your times. Like your ideology and everything was shaped by the people in power around you, right? You did not have much of a choice. You were given this one choice that, what do you say? Novak said that was the first and final moment that I could make a choice, and I chose to be on the wrong side. But what really made me so emotional here was what Raphael said, that people. Let me just go through this. I want to do this show justice to the best of my ability still. So what really hit for me is when Raphael says that, despite, like, first Novak tells this very narrow perspective of I was the villain, I was on the wrong side, and you guys were on the right. But a more nuanced, a more mature perspective, really profound perspective, and this is really the author speaking to Novak, giving him his closure, right, through Raphael as his mouthpiece. As Novak brings him to life in front of him to give him this assurance that despite all our differences, the thing is that protagonists, antagonists, good guys, bad guys are all inside us, right? We are in constant flux of. We're not static people. We're not these. What do you say? These static personalities. This is a good person. This is a bad person. This is a honest person. This is a noble person. This is a villain. It's not as simple as that. People change all the time. We saw that in the past episode. Like if motivated by the right things, if shaped by the right influence, a product of your time, right? So in saying that, Raphael tells him that I feel closer to the people in this era than I would with a philosopher who shares the same beliefs a couple of centuries later, right? And I never thought of it that way. But in a way, I can see people having that opinion. Because, like, if I were to look back at the story, I understand, not understand, like, I can see the story and the people at that time, how they were, but I still would not be able to comprehend or truly understand or digest it until unless I was living in that time, as to how these people came to be, right? And in that way, I'll never truly understand them. I may share their philosophies, I may disagree with them, I may empathize with them, I may be in agreement with the heretics philosophies, which is now common knowledge, but I will never truly won't truly understand them as they would understand each other as enemies on opposing ends. Because he does point out something very poignant, that if when people look back at this span of history and by extension like thousands and hundreds of thousands of human civilization, right, all the way back to Homo sapiens, like such complex, enriching lives with so many complexities, emotions harbored within each human being, and yet it's all just statistics and numbers and a line in history book. The people of the 15th century, the people of the 9th century, this civilization, that civilization, just summed up in a single sentence, right? All those lives. No wonder the people of that era would never, and the same would be for our case. We could never understand each other. That there's something very sad about it. So many millions, billions of lives, all reduced to a couple of sentences, a couple of generalizations, sweeping generalizations. The heretics of that time, the philosophers of that time. Only a few, only a few people stand out. The great soldiers and leaders, the great philosophers of those times. But the hundreds and thousands the tens of thousands of people who would not be named, they were all equally important in their own bubble of their life, right? In their own era, in their own small region, in the small part of the small country, at the small timeline. It's crazy, right? If I look at my own life, there's so much, right? If I look at myself as an observer, there's so much in my life that has happened. My life is so big, like so many emotions, so many experiences, memories, interactions that I've had. It's a rich life, but I'm just one person living in this one era, in this one small area, and like hundreds of years later, won't be even a, like, I'll be grouped along with millions of other people and summed up in a line. That's history for you. It's crazy. That's like the idea of being forgotten as an individual, right? And remembered more like a group, a culture, a community. And enough time passes that you won't even get that privilege. You would be summed up as a person of the 15th century. Doesn't matter what region, religion, what community, what side of the battle line you were. That's the biggest, that's the first generalization that you'll always have. Yeah. Such interesting discussions that this show throws up every episode. And then this, Novak confiding in Rafael that, yes, I did feel pain for you because I saw, in a way, my daughter, right? Because he had that moment with his daughter when she questioned the church, and he had this overreaction for her concern. And saw the same in Rafael. We did not know back then, but then as with the backstory, we came to know why he had that like baffling reaction with Rafael. Like, why would you do this? Like, for what? Why are you throwing your life away? And he chose to still continue it, and that was when he had his first and final chance to switch to the right side, so to speak. There is no right side. You, like, more than the right side and the wrong side, you all just summation, a generalization of history. That's the deepest cut you can you can get. But in that you can have solidarity, that in this moment you are surrounded by your enemies, your friends, strangers. You are all closer to each other than you could ever be to people of the future. That's your, you can take solace in that. As enemies, you can embrace each other. And the passage of time is cruel. That is the real enemy. That is the real antagonist of the history of human civilization. Time. And then this moment when Novak asks him, did my daughter make it to heaven? It's up to your interpretation, man. Do what is necessary. And by do what is necessary, you know, you have the answers. You have always had the answers. And Raphael gives him the permission, right? Take that glove and put it on that hand that you've been carrying. And this is the moment when it feels right for him to come to this realization. Now I see. And there's so many ways, so many things that must have crossed his mind, that you did not die. Your life was not snuffed out, right? At such a young age, you got to live, and got to live your dreams, and you died, and you chose your fate the way you went out, right? You, just like Schmidt in front of him, just like so many other heretics. Your daughter also, yes, she took her life, but it was her decision, right? She wasn't burned at the stake all those years ago. So there is comfort in that. But at the same time, look at this. This is the power of, relationships, the humanity inside Novak. Finally, he accepts heliocentrism for the sake of his daughter, so that in his interpretation, that if I accept heliocentrism right now, if it is not a cardinal sin, then that means my daughter gets to go to heaven. So for that, I will accept it, and for that, I also ask for forgiveness from God. That was all because of me. Let her go to heaven. He's pleading now with God, something that he rebuked in front of Antony, that you're wrong, you've cast away for something like that. But now, with his daughter at stake, he chose to believe in it. This is the perfect way to have it written, and for him to also for him to also in his final moments know that his daughter was alive and she was the leader. I was hoping that at some point, maybe during his final moments, he comes to that realization, and he did. God, I'm happy. I feel so sad because I know these are fictional characters in a fictional story, but it is how so many people's lives were. Just deaths in general, passage of time. It's weird. Like, I still can't comprehend death, right? The finality of death. That you will be forgotten. That you will be nothing. And to see so many people's lives ending in this show. Some happy, some sad, some fulfilled, some in revelation, like Novak is in his final moments. It really hits you. It does take a toll. This show is incredible. The direction is incredible. And the thing is, he chooses to believe that yes, this was my daughter's hand, because there's still room for error, right? But what he saw during that explosion, that's how he chose to believe it. And then Draka, in her final moments, gets to see the sun, and I guess she was happy. Schmidt helped her in her final moments, to be content. What was my life all for? It was all a waste. It does feel like that when your ambition is so great, you keep going through that, and suddenly you're put to a stop. Feels meaningless so early on. And yeah, like the moment she sees the sun giving that warmth, right? Because as you're dying out, blood seeping, gushing out of you, your body starts getting cold. So even in a logical way, the sun is warming you up, so you feel that warmth of the sun even more during your final moments. Show is so poetic. The way it ties up so many, I've said this, I've gushed about this so often. The way it ties up so many characters, arcs, moments, themes so efficiently. Such a densely packed show. No moment is wasted. Like, there hasn't been a single scene, a single character, a single moment, a single topic or subject that has been wasted. I cannot think of a more well written show of this length. Like maybe Attack on Titan in its early days, maybe, or Ping Pong, the animation. But yeah, this show deserves all the praise. I wished the episode ended at this moment, and like the last few minutes, I wasn't really into it because I was still, my mind was still with Novak and Yolanta. So I don't know what this last scene is about. I'll have more to say, but it does look like he's the next protagonist in the cycle. He's probably gonna die young as well. But yeah, with 2 episodes left, I don't know where the show is going. I don't know who this person is and who Yolanda wrote the letter to. I might be blanking. But yeah, someone who does not see education and pursuit of knowledge is a good thing. Something that only brings misery. Interesting. So we'll see next episode who this person is. But yeah, this is probably one of my top 3 favorite episodes of the show. Amazing. Like again, I don't have enough vocabulary in my language to praise this show with different words, but yeah, I'm truly glad to be able to watch something like this. That's how I'll end it, I guess. Alright, see you guys in the next episode, next two final episodes, the next video. Bye.